How do you know I'm not a gangster? Or used to be a gangster? I've been in the
were you?
music industry for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's filled with gangsters.
Mathew Knowles ain't staying quiet no more. He's ditching the smiles and backroom chats, and this time, he's coming straight for Jay-Z. Why? A paternity scandal that just won't die, no matter how hard the Carters try to bury it. And let's not forget, Beyoncé's name is getting dragged through this storm, even though she never signed up for any of it. People close to the Knowles crew say Mathew is done watching the Carter drama spill over onto his daughter's legacy. Behind the scenes, he's been telling her loud and clear, it might be time to walk away. This ain't just some emotional dad moment. Nah, this is a man who helped build one of the biggest girl groups in history. He's seen everything from the front row, and now he's hitting a breaking point. Word from insiders says Mathew thinks the latest mess around Jay-Z isn't just gossip, it's a full-on disaster for his image. He's reportedly urging Beyoncé to protect her brand, her kids, and her peace of mind by possibly taking legal steps to put some distance between herself and Jay-Z. Cause let's be honest, when the same man who managed Beyoncé's rise to global royalty starts hinting he's ready to air out the truth, that ain't a rumor, that's a straight-up warning shot. And look at the timing, it's wild. While Jay-Z's out here trying to dodge heat from a lawsuit linking him to Diddy's disturbing legal issues, a blast from his past just popped up again. Ramir Satwa, who's been claiming for years that Jay-Z, real name Sean Corey Carter, is his biological dad, is back in the spotlight. He's been chasing the truth since he was a teen, fighting in courtrooms and dropping quiet interviews for over a decade. Brand new DNA test orders just dropped, and they could blow everything sky high. Ramir isn't backing down. He's accusing Jay-Z's legal team of dodging a court-ordered DNA test, faking property ownership, and burying the whole case in red tape and sealed files. And with Ramir's mother no longer here to speak her truth, her affidavit, where she claimed she and Jay-Z had a thing when she was just 16, is now being looked at with serious eyes. This could be the crack that shatters Jay-Z's polished image as a family man and mogul. If that DNA test confirms what Ramir's been yelling about for years, Jay-Z isn't just a guy with a past. He's someone who's been ducking accountability for decades. That's reportedly where Mathew Knowles hits his breaking point.
Only say as a father that I hope I instill with them the values that they would want to look for in a man. And I think I did when Beyoncé wrote on her, I think it was her first album, maybe it was the second one, the song Daddy, that she hoped that she found someone just like her daddy.
Insiders say he's fuming. Beyoncé's out here trying to shield their kids from schoolyard whispers and headlines, while Jay stays silent, hoping this all fades away. But not this time. There's way too much on the line, and Mathew might be sitting on evidence that could turn this whole thing inside out. Word is, Mathew's got messages between Jay-Z's legal team and Ramir's late mother's reps. Messages that could expose a pattern of scare tactics and straight-up stonewalling. And here's the kicker. People close to the situation say that's just the start. Mathew may be sitting on even deeper secrets.
Civil complaint, simply allegations, need to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and, we'll see what happens or if the DA looks and investigates.
Hush-hush settlements, backroom deals, and what some are calling a secret blackmail stash. Yeah, you heard that right. There's talk about a quiet fund Jay-Z allegedly keeps on standby to shut down scandals before they ever hit the blogs. Former Rockefeller affiliates call it a panic vault, a money pool for when things go sideways. No official receipts yet, but let's be real. Sudden case dismissals, well-timed NDAs, and lawyers accidentally saying the wrong things in court, it's got people connecting the dots. One New Jersey lawyer even admitted in court to giving false info about Jay-Z's property records, a move that reportedly helped him dodge the DNA test and get the case tossed. According to Ramir's guardian, Gr. Lily Coley, it wasn't a mistake. It was fraud, plain and simple. Now add this to the fact that Jay-Z's name is suddenly tangled up in the legal mess surrounding Diddy, including a disturbing claim about a minor at a party back in 2000, and public patience is wearing thin. Folks are tired of excuses. Mathew sees it too. Sources say he's already locked and loaded with his own legal firepower in case Beyoncé keeps quiet. If he goes public, if he drops emails, legal files, or sworn statements, it could spark a chain reaction that shakes Jay-Z's entire empire. Let's not act like this is all brand new. Jay-Z's had dark clouds hanging over him before. Back in '99, he nearly landed in prison after stabbing someone in a Manhattan club. Then there's that uncomfortable triangle with Damon Dash and Aaliyah, something the industry avoids, but it never disappears. Rumor has it Aaliyah started pulling away from Jay to be with Dame, and the tension from that shift never fully died down. Those whispers of jealousy and overlap still floating in the air, especially now with these lawsuits bringing up old connections. And now, Ramir's claims are crashing into Diddy's legal nightmare, and fans are starting to ask what's been hiding in plain sight all these years. If that secret fund exists, and if it's been used to cover up scandal after scandal, it's not just shady, it's betrayal, not just of Beyoncé, but of every fan who believed Jay-Z built his empire off hustle and talent alone. That image of the guy from Marcy Projects who made it to the top, it starts to fall apart if lawyers and hush money were the real bricks holding it together. That's what's got Mathew Knowles lit up. According to someone close to the family, he believes now's the time to clean house. Not just to protect Beyoncé, but to make sure her legacy doesn't get dragged down with this mess. Because what happens if more people come forward? What if the money isn't enough this time? Mathew might not be threatening Jay-Z directly, but those close to the situation say his message is loud and clear. Walk away now or get buried with the truth. And here's the wild part. Rumors say Mathew's not the only one with receipts. A former Rockefeller staffer claims there's a stash of old messages and emails that could connect dots Jay-Z's been trying to keep far apart. Links between Ramir, Diddy, and the darker corners of the industry. The kind of parties and scenes people used to whisper about. But now folks are looking back and realizing they might have been way darker than anyone admitted. Meanwhile, Beyoncé stays completely silent. No public comment, no subtle unfollow, nothing. Just that eerie quiet, the kind that doesn't feel like peace, more like the calm before a storm. And if that DNA test finally happens, if Ramir is proven right after all these years, who knows what else might come to the surface with him? What names are in those files? What kind of hush payments, favors, secret flights, or sealed court deals are still locked up tight, just waiting for the perfect moment to blow the lid off everything? Jay-Z's lawyers might have kept things buried for years, but now it's Beyoncé's silence that's got everyone talking. No denial, no soft PR spin, not even a vague statement, just straight silence. And in celebrity circles, when someone like Beyoncé goes this quiet, that's not calm, that's strategy. People are starting to whisper, is she stalling for time, or is this the early stage of a full-on exit plan? PR insiders say her team's been moving like they're in a war room, scrubbing comments, freezing appearances, checking every social media post like it's evidence in a trial. And fans noticed, Beyoncé skipped not one, but two major industry events this season. No red carpet, no video shout-out, not even a selfie from the glam squad. Instead, her Instagram went cryptic. A photo of a white dove, a caption-free carousel, a throwback from her Destiny's Child days. Just her. No Jay-Z, no kids, no message, but all message. The Hive went wild with theories. Was it a signal, a warning, an escape route? One insider close to her stylist said she's reevaluating everything. And that ain't just about clothes, that sounds like life decisions. Behind the fancy lights and red carpets, the tension between Mathew Knowles and Jay-Z reportedly runs deep, and it didn't just start with the DNA drama. Word is, Mathew never fully rocked with Jay-Z from day one. He built Beyoncé's brand before Roc Nation was even a name, and people close to him say he always side-eyed Jay's sudden rise, like he knew there were skeletons nobody wanted to look at. But now, those shadows are showing up as court filings, sealed motions, and media murmurs getting louder by the day. If this goes to court in full view, it might not be just Ramir on the stand. It could be the whole Carter empire under fire. And Mathew, with his deep connections and no-nonsense mindset, he's not someone Jay-Z wants going public with receipts. The Ramir case reads like a legal circus, switched up jurisdictions, sealed documents, questionable testimony, and years of legal tactics that seem designed to confuse, delay, and bury. But one hearing has legal heads talking. Jay-Z's lawyer gave wrong info on his real estate, which conveniently got him out of having to take a court-ordered DNA test. That ain't a slip-up, that's a lifeline. Now Ramir's camp is calling it what it looks like, a fake-out defense meant to shut down the truth. That ain't just shady, that's fraud. Straight up, for years this played out like slow-motion legal chess. Delay, deny, dismiss. But now, the tone has changed. The story's turning personal. According to new court docs and whispers from court insiders, Ramir's not just saying Jay-Z might be his father, he's now claiming Jay-Z has always known and chose to stay silent. If true, that flips everything. This wouldn't be a case of some star trying to dodge a messy court situation. It's about a man, hailed as a dedicated family guy, quietly erasing a child from his life. That lands like a gut punch, especially from someone who built his image around being a father, a husband, and a legacy man. Because if Ramir's telling the truth, Jay-Z didn't just skip out on a test, he skipped out on a life. A boy who grew up in confusion, raised by a mother who carried that truth alone until the end, while Jay was out here building brands, winning Grammys, and dropping bars about fatherhood. The emotional toll on Ramir? It's been happening in the background for years. No flashing cameras, no magazine covers, just a young man chasing truth in courtrooms, wrestling with grief, searching for identity, while the world cheered for the man he believes abandoned him. And through it all, Jay-Z kept climbing. Billion-dollar moves, power couple status, public devotion to the 3 kids he shares with Beyoncé. But what if there was one more, left out of the frame, left out of the story? That's the question people are starting to ask. And if a DNA test confirms Ramir's claim, everything changes. The music, the legacy, the brand. Because selective fatherhood, that hits different, especially when the truth's been knocking for decades, and someone may have been pretending not to hear it. Mental health experts say what Ramir's been dealing with, years of rejection, silence, and legal dodging, can leave deep scars, especially when your mother, the only parent who stood by you, is no longer here. This ain't just about chasing fame or fortune. This is about closure, about identity, about truth. And according to Ramir, he's been denied all of that since day one. But now there's a new layer, one that's got fans side-eyeing everything. If Jay-Z knew about Ramir all along and kept it under wraps, the betrayal ain't just aimed at a kid looking for answers. It stretches all the way into his marriage. Did Beyoncé know? Did she ever ask? Or is she learning this the same way the world is, through headlines and viral court documents? Either way, the emotional fallout is massive. If Jay-Z's silence isn't legal strategy anymore, if it's straight up guilt, then this might not just hit his image. It could tear his home apart, and that's what's really hitting people. That behind all the glitz, the power couple posts, the vacation photos, and stage hugs, there's been a silent crack growing for years. Ramir never wanted to burn it all down. He says all he ever wanted was his father. But after years of closed doors and blocked paths, the real damage isn't even in the legal files. It's in the silence that followed him through life. And now, just as that truth is getting louder, Jay-Z's also being pulled into a separate storm, legal heat connected to Diddy's wild inner circle, where lawsuits are surfacing fast and dragging up some dark, disturbing history. What used to be the golden circle of hip-hop billionaires is now under a very different kind of spotlight. If courts decide that powerful men like Jay-Z used cash, connections, and influence to make problems vanish, then every brand tied to him, Roc Nation, Tidal, liquor partnerships, art ventures, suddenly starts to look toxic. And where does that leave Beyoncé? In a place no woman should have to be, deciding whether to protect her marriage or protect herself and her kids. As a mother, she might want to shield her children from the mess, but as the face of a global empire, staying quiet too long could start to look like she's turning a blind eye. A former PR pro who worked on Beyoncé's early solo brand put it plain: Beyoncé understands the power of the story. If she's not speaking, it's because she's planning exactly when to strike. Some insiders say she's waiting on the DNA results before making a move. Others think she's slowly stepping back from Jay-Z altogether, unsure of who he really is anymore. Meanwhile, the Knowles vs. Carter tension, it's right on the edge. People close to Mathew say he's done protecting secrets. And if Ramir's test comes back confirmed, word is Mathew's ready to drop the bomb. He's said to be sitting on a full dossier, legal emails, early meeting notes, even behind-the-scenes footage from old tour stops and backstage moments, stuff that could completely shatter the polished Carter legacy. This was once the couple everyone looked up to, untouchable, powerful. But now, the story could flip fast, from royalty to unraveling, and it won't be pretty. We've seen celebrity scandals before, sure, but this feels deeper, slower, like watching a castle crumble brick by brick under the weight of secrets too heavy to hold. If this paternity claim triggers more scrutiny, more lawsuits, more people stepping forward, Jay-Z might go from king of the game to just another name exposed by the very truth he spent years and maybe millions trying to silence. So now the real questions begin. What happens if that DNA test comes back and proves Ramir right? Can Jay-Z survive what comes next? Will Beyoncé stay quiet, or will she break away and reclaim her own narrative? And just how far is Mathew Knowles willing to go to protect his daughter and expose what he believes has been hidden for years? The cracks are widening, the silence is screaming, and the truth? It could be just one court decision away from turning everything the Carters built into dust.